It is 8:32 today on the third day of the play-in. And honestly, I just want to talk about the Cleveland Atlanta game. It already looks bad on Cleveland. Cleveland lost as the end to a great season. You know, they had a potential candidate in Sixth Man of the Year, Kevin Love. He was definitely up there, potential candidate for Rookie of the Year, which I still believe is a Rookie of the Year and will possibly win Rookie of the Year, Evan Mobley. It's a terrible way to end a great season. It could have been the first time that they made the playoffs since LeBron James. And everybody loves a great comeback story. That would have been a great comeback story that they made the playoffs, even if they made it just to the first round. If they would have made it to the first round, they made it to the playoffs. They still look. It's ESPN. They say it's a Sports Center stat, and it is, but it looks good. It looks good. The Cavs going to the playoffs without LeBron. It's crazy. It's crazy. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But they have to have the brightest future in the NBA easily. Now, I'm not talking. When I speak future, I'm not talking 2-3 years, like most teams, like how people talk about the Grizzlies, maybe possibly the Kings, Pacers, OKC, with all the draft picks they have and everything. I'm just talking about with the core they have right now. They could build off of it, and they have so many draft picks. They had so many seasons of being bad since LeBron left. I think all they need in 10 years, that could be couple rings. And if they keep the guys that they got right now, for sure, couple rings. Obviously, Kevin Love's going to retire in a couple years. You got some guys that are going to get injured and get traded, sign with a different team, free agency, all that type of stuff. But Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, hear me out. That could be like, I'm not going to make something crazy. If y'all feel like something crazy, it's going to sound stupid. I ain't going to say no Shaq and Kobe, but, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, that could be a little Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, before things was south with them. Like, I don't think people remember that enough either. Before things went south with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, that was tough. They was tough. The bubble, when they unfortunately lost to Jamal Murray and the Nuggets. I mean, that was a 7-game series, and we didn't really, pay attention to how good Nikola was back then, but he beat a Nikola and Jamal Murray. Oh, they almost beat. I'm sorry, they went to Game 7 with the Nikola and Jamal Murray Nuggets. That's crazy. Because most teams today can't even. I don't even think the Nuggets will go to a Game 7 at all this playoffs until, eventually they lose. It's just crazy because and this is the Nuggets that we're talking about just with Nikola Jokic, not even with Jamal Murray. They had Jamal Murray, that made him even better. But yeah, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, they could be tough, but Trae Young, Trae Young, that dude is next level. He's like, I remember a couple years ago in the bubble, everyone was crazy for comparing him to Steph Curry. And I agree. I don't think Trae Young is anywhere near Steph Curry. But the dude, it's like, how do I say this? It's just clutch time, Trae Young. Clutch time, Trae Young. That's a different breed. That's a different dude. That's a dude that Steph Curry. He hasn't been that dude a lot. Okay, against OKC a couple years ago, you could say that. But even in the Warriors dynasty, the prime years of the Warriors, Steph Curry wasn't like that. And I know I'm not saying that, Trae is better than Steph was back then, because Steph, all-time greatest shooter. But he definitely has crazy potential. If he keeps growing the way he is and, taking the Hawks to the playoffs, no one's even thinking about the Hawks. No one's thinking about how bad the Hawks are. Think about how good the Warriors were with Steph Curry. Think about how good the Warriors would be without Steph Curry. Hawks without Trae Young. They a sub 500 team. They 20 wins at most. At most. But the way that he's trending, but that dude, he's a villain. He is the biggest villain. He's like Patrick Beverly with skill. Patrick Bev with skill. The way he just get under, not even other players, it's crowds. It's crowds. So he'll get a crowd riled up off some, he'll hit a three, he'll shimmy, everybody go crazy because it's a away game. He's he's coming into the stadium acting like it's his stadium. Then all of a sudden, the other team starts scoring. The other team, it happened today with Cleveland. They went on runs. They was doing great. And then once that fourth quarter came around, that demon time, that clutch time, closing time, bye-bye. Trae Young done waved at like 75 different fans and the game wasn't even over yet. The game had 2 minutes left. He waving hands. He up 5-3, waving hands. Because he's not going to know. The dude started off the game with 6 points. In the first half, he had 6 points. He had 28. 28 in the second half. 28. He was on, excuse me if I'm wrong for this, 3 for 11 shooting in the first half. Then turned up and went 10 for 20 in the second half. Oh my goodness, the dude. And he was just, he kept going. And he knew what it was. He knew he was closing the game. He knew when it came time, the Hawks were going to put the ball in his hand. He didn't expect to pass it. He had to pass it a couple of times because, they're going to double him after, he hit 3 floaters in a row. But I also think with that floater, he perfect that thing. It's perfect. You got Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year candidate, also Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I'm sorry. Just lob it in. Like it's like a casual, just put it in. And he had a couple ones where they like roll around the back and they just dropped it because it's a soft touch. It's a soft touch. I was thinking about it. It's like it reminds me of Kareem. The Kareem skyhook. They said that was like the most unguardable move ever. And that floater, man. The reason this is unguardable because if you're a defender right here, I'm right here. I hook that over you. You can't block that unless you jump 10 feet in the air and grab that. That same thing with that floater. Unless you get it right here, unless you stop it right here, it's unstoppable. All you got to do is hit the shot. All you have to do is hit the shot. All he needs is a slither of a second. That little stutter step he does, gets the defender off of him. It's greatness. It's greatness. It's crazy. But yeah, he knew, he had the confidence, and he knew that when it came down to it, he was going to have the ball at the end of the game. And that's just something a lot of young players don't have. It's just, there's only a select few under 25, I could say, that really enjoy or really understand having the ball in that clutch time. Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic. I don't even think I can think about anybody else. LaMelo? Nah, not even LaMelo. Not even LaMelo. Yeah, he has all the confidence in the world. You see that dude? That dude, you see that at the end of the game, the other day, he tried to dunk the ball, and he was down 20 with 3 seconds left. But yeah, he has all the confidence in the world, but he don't seem like, when he's not that dude, when he plays bad, he knows he plays bad, and he lets it get to him. Trae Young, he said in the post-game interview, he was like, yeah, no one had to say nothing to me in the locker room. Nobody. I disappointed my team, so I got better. Simply got better. Played better. And it worked. anywhere, and he knew he needed the ball, and that's what was a big problem with Cleveland at the end of the game. Darius Garland's a younger guy, but still not that. It's not. There's not that big gap between him and Trae Young. Darius, I don't think Darius was played great, but when it came down to it, I don't think he knew he was the one that was supposed to have the ball. He's passing a lot. A lot of his teammates were taking other shots. Evan Mobley missed like 4 free throws in the clutch. 4 free throws, and that's detrimental. That changes a 7-point gap to 3. That's 1 possession game. It's detrimental. He was diming him up. He was doing Darius Garland was balling, hooping. He just couldn't get the shots to fall in. He had 2 clutch mid-ranges. They were pretty tough. But other than that, he shot 9 for 27 on the night. I mean, it wasn't his best performance. And it really sucks because, the Cavs don't really get that kind of recognition. I mean, I guess, social media-wise, but I'm talking about as far as television. They don't really get on television that much. And this prime time, this play-in, this, I'm not going to say it. Yeah, postseason basketball. And he gets that time to shine and blew it. It happened. But if you can look past the bad and you can see everything that was so good, man, they got a bright future in him and Evan Mobley. I'm serious. Those dudes are... And I remember All-Star season, LeBron was talking about Cleveland and how, how it's home and everything. Everyone was like, oh, LeBron want to be back in Cleveland. He might. Hey, if I'm LeBron and Cleveland hit my phone, after what LA just did, Rob Pelinka in Disneyland on trade deadline when they were trying to get rid of Russ, and that's no disrespect. Call my phone, I might pick up. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Love. They got a young core. They got a bench and everything. But give them a couple years. They'll be great. And even if not, their trade stock is definitely rising up. And you see the Celtics fans talking about maybe getting rid of one of the Jays. And I think it'd probably be Jalen. Before Jason, because if you trade Jason Tatum away, you're rebuilding your team. That's a given. But Jaylen Brown, you might trade him. Darius Garland, it could be a good trade. But I mean, not now. 5 years now, 2, 3 maybe. Just thoughts. But yeah, I don't know. It's halftime of the Pelican Clippers game. That I'm pretty sure everyone knows Paul George ruled out for this one. I don't. I know historically it's a bad thing to call a game at halftime. I'm sorry. The Clippers surprised us last year, and the year before that in the playoffs without PG or Kawhi, and that was just winning a few games. And Terrence Mann, 41 points, went crazy. But I don't think it's happening now. It's tough for the Clippers. It's really tough. Such a great team that they just it just be one of those teams like, they could have been something, should have been something, but eventually won't, because Kawhi or PG, they're gonna be out of there soon. I don't know how soon, but they spend most of the time injured. It's wraps. But yeah.